Hello, this is Ernest Burley Jr., your certified financial planner, your chartered financial consultant, your NFLPA registered player financial advisor, your investment advisor representative. I hold the Series 6, 63, and 7 that allow me to offer securities, products, and services to clients across the country. I'm also your author of 2 books on Money Management, Easy as 1, 2, 3, and Money Management from Grade School to Grad School. All right. I ask that you go to Amazon and buy out those books. We have those books across the country in different states, individuals or organizations using those books to teach money management principles to individuals across different state lines. So I'm loving that. And I really appreciate those who are supporting the books. I ask that you do the same. Go to Amazon and just flood them and ask them to send you a ton of books so you can give them out. They'll be great Christmas gifts and great New Year's gifts too. And great gifts all throughout the year. Birthday gifts, anniversary gifts, all kind of gifts. All right, so I'm also a licensed insurance agent with over 30 years experience in the industry. I've been in business for over 25 years, over a quarter century. But I'm thankful, I'm very thankful for being able to serve. I have clients all across the country from the north to the south, from the east to the west, to provide financial services and insurance services and products to those individuals and businesses and churches and what have you. Okay, so my specialty areas are wealth management, so investing, IRAs, portfolio management, brokerage accounts, 401k plans, things of that nature. Asset protection, so protecting what you've accumulated. Asset growth, so strategically growing what you already have in place. Also financial planning, whether it be basic financial planning or comprehensive financial planning. Insurance, all different types of insurance, whether it be auto insurance, life insurance, homeowners insurance, long-term care, disability, professional liability, contractors, jewelry policies, boat policies, rental properties, investment properties, all different types of insurance plans that we provide insurance advice for and insurance policies for here. Okay. And also athlete management. So on the NFL side, I'm an NFLPA registered player financial advisor. On the NBA side, I'm an NBPA certified player agent. So I'm able to get guys opportunities to try out for NBA teams to try and hopefully fulfill the dream of playing on an NBA team. If not there, I'm FIBA licensed. So overseas, we can get you opportunities there also. But you have to be good, got to be really good, right? So send me your tape. Let's have a conversation and see what happens, okay? Now, the purpose of this podcast is to educate you, to enlighten you, to empower you with clear, objective, unbiased information so that you can make some great decisions for yourself, for your family, for your church family, for your coworkers, whoever you're in contact with. Say, hey, check out this guy's YouTube channel, check out this podcast. He was just talking about infinite banking the other day, or whole life insurance, or term life insurance, or being a business owner, or whether you should pay off your mortgage early, what have you, right? So that's the purpose of the podcast, is you just give some clear, concise information. I have no dog in the hunt, like I've said before. So you can, have some good information out there, because there's a lot of bad information out there. And I think I'm giving pretty good, objective, good information. That's what I've been told. All right, so today's podcast, here we go. Drawbacks to investing in the future. I know y'all are like, Ernest, what? Of course you want to invest in the future. Are you gone nuts? So what are drawbacks to investing in the future? It sounds like a no-brainer. You should invest in the future. That just sounds so crazy for me to say that, right? That there are drawbacks to investing in the future. Yes, you should definitely invest in the future. I agree with that. You should get on board with the wave of progress, whatever the wave of progress is, and whatever that future thing is that's current. So why am I posing this question? Well, in the investing world, it's not quite that easy. That's why. So here's the deal. In order to make gains, in order to make money, the stock or the mutual fund or the ETF or whatever you're investing in, it has to make money, right? In order for it to make money, there has to be a market for it. There have to be people or businesses buying that product or service, because it has to make money in order for you to make money on it, right? So when will the future of the product or service be the present, right? It can't be the future. It's got to be the present to make you some money. So when is that future product or service? When does the future become the present to make money for you? Because if no one's on board with it, then you're not making any money. So that's the question. Is it 1 year in the future? That progress, whatever that thing is you're saying, is it 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? How far out is it before it catches on and that wave comes to where you're making money on your money? That's a big question, right? So I'll give you an example. I know y'all are like, what is he talking about? What, if it's the future, we need to be on it because it's going to take off. Well, okay, I get it. Let me give you an example. Now, I was way ahead of my time decades ago, and I'm not exaggerating. I mean, literally decades ago. I invested heavily in solar energy, probably 30 years ago, because I thought, hey, this is a no-brainer. Solar is going to be a mainstay energy source in this country. I'm from Florida, from Miami, Florida. So we had like a lot of houses had solar panels, and I'm like, man, this alternative energy, this is the way to go. So I invested, I was making a lot. I was much younger then. I was making a lot less money then. But I invested like a couple $1,000s. That was a lot of money at that time for me. That was 30 years ago. That was a couple $1,000s is worth, a lot back then. I was much younger because I just knew solar was going to take off. Guess what? It still hasn't taken off, right? So, I mean, and I remember the solar companies that I invested in. So I thought it was a no-brainer that solar was going to take off and be a mainstream energy source around that time or sometime soon after that. But like I said, not so fast, Ernest. It hasn't even become a mainstream now. Now it's much more prevalent now. Solar use is much more prevalent now than it was 20 or 30 years ago. But I was thinking, hey, I'm going to get on this wave now. My couple $1,000s is going to multiply many times over because of this technology. But it just never happened. So that's what I mean by that. You want to invest in the future, but when is that future going to become the present and start making you money on your money? So how long are you going to let your $2,000 or $5,000 or $1,000 or $100,000 sit in this future thing before it takes off? Now, like I said, it still hasn't taken off. So if I would have left my money, I'd pull my money out of that because it wasn't going anywhere. If I left my money there, I would be down to pennies right now, right? So now I could run down a whole list of things throughout the decades that I thought were going to be like the future and no-brainers. And they're still like on hold or stymied right now for one reason or another. I think wind is another situation that should be more mainstream. We could do more things with wind. Electric vehicles. Now we all know electric vehicles have come on big time over the past decade or so. But when is it going to get to the point where we're like, okay, 80% of vehicles on the road are electric, right? Or hybrid or whatever. I mean, or electric really. I think California just passed a law about it's an extreme. I'm not sure about it, but it looks like I read something about no gas cars in California, like in 10 years or something like that. I forgot what it is. You guys can Google it. But they're going like hardcore extreme. I don't know if that was actually passed or that's something they were talking about. But when is that going to be a reality where, hey, electric vehicles are going to be the mainstream as opposed to like, not so much of a mainstream. So that battery technology, I invested in battery technology a while ago too, because I'm like, man, battery technology has a good ways to go. And it's on the verge. Batteries have gotten much better over time, but not as well as they could be, right? And the industries that support battery, like the materials that go into it and things of that nature. I'd done all that research and I was like, man, this is about to blow up. Not so much. So you never know. I mean, that's why I say drawbacks to investing in the future. It depends on when that future becomes a present, right? So that's all. Now, don't get me wrong. You definitely want to invest in the future. I'm just saying, there are drawbacks if you invest in the future and that future takes too long to get here, then your money is sitting there, the time value of money, right? Your money is sitting there either losing money because that technology or industry hasn't caught on yet, or just flat, which is not good either. You don't want your money being flat. So it takes a process to make sure that you're on the technology or the future or the progress of something that's on the way up, like in the near future, so your money's not sitting idle too long or losing money too long. Now, here's the thing with alternative energy. There are still too, it's just my humble opinion. There are still too many people, millionaires and billionaires, out there making so much money on oil. That's why. Like when the oil crisis of the 70s and the 80s, now I was too young to really be driving and knowing what was going on at that point, but I remember it was gas. I mean, there were cars lined up around the corner, and it was a mess on those crisis situations. And I'm like, man, surely the United States is very smart, and they're going to realize we can't be beholden to oil, right? But not so much. That was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and still we're beholden to oil for the most part. So you got people still making millions and billions on oil. So that industry is never going to go away as long as those individuals in those industries are making that kind of money. They're going to milk that into the end. Now, when the end comes, when the electric vehicles and all this alternative energy comes into play, they're going to get on board. Like some of these companies are on board already, to tell you the truth, and they're doing this alternative energy stuff, but they're still, their mainstay is still that oil a lot of money. So it's you know, that's what I think the problem is in certain industries, that there's too many people making too much money on the current status quo. But when progress comes along and that future kind of pushes it and makes it happen, then of course, I think you want to get on that wave at that point. But if you let your money sit there for 10 years and the progress hasn't happened, the future is still the future. The can keeps getting kicked down the road on making that progress or that future a reality in the current, in the present. Then that's why I said it's not that easy. I am saying invest in the future, but I'm saying there are drawbacks if that future never comes to that, or if that future is too delayed. That's it for today's podcast. All right. So there are drawbacks to investing in the future. I just gave you an example. I was the victim of one, right? That whole solar thing. And there are a lot of industries I think that are going to come. I think solar, I think wind, I think electric vehicles, I think all that. I think that is like, we're on the crux of it right now, just boom. Yeah, in the next maybe 3 to 5 years being a major evolution. But I thought that 30 years ago for some things too. So, hey, there you go. That's it for today's podcast. Okay, the drawbacks to investing in the future. All right, so hey, the takeaway, the recap is there are definitely reasons that you want to invest in the future, but there are drawbacks to it. And I don't want to beat the dead horse, but I already went over the drawbacks, right? The takeaway is don't let that discourage you. Still, do your research, whatever you have a heart for, you believe in, you've done your due diligence. Hey, put your money out there where your mouth is. Not something that's too crazy, but hey, sometimes people think crazy stuff is crazy and it ends up taking off. So hey, do your due diligence and don't back off of investing in the future, investing in progress, because you can't hold back progress forever. It can be stymied by people who are making too much money on the current status quo, but eventually that progress is going to come. Okay. I thank you guys for listening, like you do every year. I mean, every week. I'm sorry. I asked, oh my goodness. Okay, so okay, somebody's calling me already. I got to call him back. Sorry. I thank y'all for listening in. I really appreciate it. I ask that you share this podcast with all your friends, your family members, your church members, your coworkers, your employers, everyone across the globe, and ask them to do the same, to share with their friends, their family members, their church members, their coworkers, their employers all across the globe, so we can make these podcasts go viral. Ask them to go to my YouTube channel. All of my podcasts are on YouTube under my name, Ernest Burley Jr., and subscribe first. So ask them to subscribe. And I'm so thankful for the subscribers. I mean, even when I was like not over the past like maybe month, it's kind of holiday season, I haven't done as many podcasts. People are still subscribing. So someone is, still sending people to subscribe. I really appreciate that. Podcasts they're about to start coming hot and heavy every week like they were before. I had maybe a month sabbatical. But I appreciate that. Please continue to forward the podcast to others and ask them to do the same. All of my podcasts are on YouTube. They go over a wide array of things, from insurance to investing to financial planning infinite banking, all different types of life insurance and the pros and cons of different life insurance plans, beneficiaries versus wills and trusts, long-term care insurance and protection. I've gotten a lot of questions about that over the past few weeks. So I address all that on my YouTube channel and various podcasts. So please check that out and ask your friends to do the same. If you want to connect with me, very easy to do. You can email me. My email address is my first name at my last name.com. No, my first name at my full name.com. So Ernest at Ernest Burley Jr. Jr. is just JR. So Ernest at ernestburleyjr.com to reach out to me via email. Or you can go to my website, which is just my name, Ernest Burley Jr. or ernestburley.com, ernestburleyjr.com or ernestburley.com, and email me from there. And I have a lot of very informative information on my website that can help you out there. And also you can contact me via my phone, okay, 301-262-2600. That's 301-262-2600. Give us a buzz and we'd be more than happy to help you out in whatever area you need assistance, okay? And I think that is it as far as connecting, subscribing, going to my YouTube channel, Ernest Burley Jr., etc. I really appreciate you. I have to read off my disclosure, of course, so let's get through that real quick. Burley Insurance and Financial Services, Inc., 13621 Annapolis Road in Bowie, Maryland, 20720. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Next Financial Group, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Burley Insurance and Financial Services, Inc. is not an affiliate of Next Financial Group, Inc. This material is not intended as an offer or solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security or other financial instrument. Past performance does not guarantee future performance. All the views expressed are those of Ernest Burley Jr., myself, and Burley Insurance and Financial Services, Inc., and not those of Next Financial Group, Inc. Next Financial Group, Inc. does not provide tax advice. And that's it for today's podcast, okay? Hey, invest in the future, but you have to realize, do your due diligence and make sure you're investing in the future that's going to be the present sooner than later. Hey, y'all take care and y'all be safe out there, okay?